This film, after all these years, still gives me the shits. Yeah. I'm 28 years old. Yeah. Okay, so Event Horizon is a story about a ship that's been abandoned in space for 7 years. The ship's name? The Event Horizon. It's not too long until we're introduced to our first main character, played by Sam Neill. That character's name is Dr. Weir. Dr. Weir designed the ship, and after learning that it still exists after 7 years of abandonment, is put on the Lewis and Clark, a ship of 7, whose destination is to retrieve the Event Horizon and to find out what happened on the ship. The Lewis and Clark plays host to 7 great characters. Captain Miller, who's played by Lawrence Fishburne. Kathleen Quinlan, who plays Peters. Stark, played by Jolie Richardson. DJ, played by Jason Isaacs. Justin, played by Lee Evans, Jack Noseworthy. Sean Pertwee, who plays Smith. And Richard T. Jones, who plays Cooper, my personal favourite. So after everyone gets acquainted, this is when the story really starts. I'm going to try and be as spoiler-free as possible, well, apart from... The point is, the less you know about this film, the better it's going to be for you. So the crew and Dr. Weir eventually stumble across the abandoned ship, and when they get there, it's bad news. The ship is really unwelcoming. I mean, and that's one of the great things about this film. There's floating watches, floating water bottles, it's cold, it's just really unwelcoming. And after they find their bearings and get the power restored on certain parts of the ship, that's when they discover the gateway. Oh god. The gateway really is the source of all fuck-ups in this film. So the gateway opens and that's when all hell breaks loose. Pun intended. The ship is then consumed by all manner of hell, literally speaking. At first it seems like it's nothing too serious. I mean, you kind of forget about it in the first 3 minutes after the gateway's been opened. But when it gets going, boy does it get going. All I'm gonna say is this. No joke, that scene seriously fucked me up. So now the mission becomes that the crew has to escape from this hell. That's not gonna be easy. Especially considering that Dr. Weir has this strange connection with the gateway, it kind of consumes him. At which point the crew members are like, bye. But again, that's not going to be easy. As the story progresses, Dr. Weir becomes more and more and more in tune with the gateway, until eventually he's like, There's some heavy stuff in this film. And at this point, the mission objective is not only to get away from the Event Horizon and the gateway, but from Dr. Weir as well. One of my favourite scenes in the entire film, and I'll try and keep this as spoiler-free again as possible. I'll sum it up in 3 ways. 1. Dr. Weir. 2. Simply the words engineering shaft. 3. You know what I'm talking about. But saying that, you know, I mean, there's a lot of great scenes in this film. None of which I'll go into great detail in. Okay, one more. The transmission video. That scene was just... what the hell did I just see? Interesting fact, that scene was actually longer, but obviously because it was so gruesome they had to take it out to make the cut. Yeah, 13 seconds was enough, Mr. Anderson. Speaking of Mr. Anderson, the director, Paul W.S. Anderson, this is the only film of yours that I actually like. Bar Mortal Kombat. Don't get me wrong, the Mortal Kombat film wasn't perfect, but it was a great attempt. Just. Paul Anderson has a way with taking our hopes and dreams and our most fond memories of Mortal Kombat, Resident Evil, Aliens, the Predator franchise, and just do this. Alright. But I'll give him his due, he did really well with this film. Probably because he had no lore to crush to begin with. But that's enough of that. The point is, I would highly recommend this film to anyone, especially horror goers. You've got great action, you've got great thrills, you've certainly got great horror, and a few moments of comic relief as well. Trust me, the comic relief is necessary in this film. What about you? Have you guys seen this film yet? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Comment below, let me know. You know, keep it tight.